Hey you guys, it's Kaylee and I am back with another what sold from last week video. If you guys are new here, my name is Kaylee. I'm an online reseller. I go to thrift stores and I find items to sell on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my sales numbers from the previous week on all of the platforms that I sold items on. So we'll do a quick breakdown of how much I spent on these items, what they sold for, and how much on each platform, as well as show you some highlighted sales so you know some things that you can look for in your local thrift store to make a profit. If you guys are not already subscribed and you like reseller content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Also hit the notification bell if you would like to be notified when I make new content. Let's jump into last week's sales. All right, you guys, so everything that I'm showing you today happened between April 11th through the 17th. That is a Sunday through a Saturday, and that is how I calculate my weeks, and it's also how most platforms run their sales reports. So if you're new to reselling, I highly suggest that you import your data and calculate your data based on a Sunday through a Saturday week. I sold on just 3 platforms last week, eBay, Poshmark, and this is Mercari. I sold a total of 55 items for a gross sales total, gross meaning before fees or cost of goods or anything is taken out. Just the sale price, including shipping, was $2,283.61, making my average sale price $41.52, which is really amazing. I actually have been trying to get over the $40 average sale price for a while, and so I'm happy to see that number come up. My total cost of goods for everything that I sold last week, not just the select items I'm going to show you today, but the whole week, was $328.65, making my average cost of good per item $5.98. And for most of these items, I just basically physically went into the thrift store and hand selected items, and most of the times I'm paying full price at the thrift stores. Some of the items I did get pre-owned online through various sites, so that is another way I source. This number is all inclusive of that. On eBay, I sold 34 items. On Poshmark, I sold 15. And on Mercari, I sold 6. On eBay, my gross sales were almost $1,500. On Poshmark, they were just $509. And on Mercari, $277. On eBay, my average sale price was actually $44. On Poshmark, it was almost $34. And on Mercari, my average sale price was about $46. I am going to jump into some highlighted sales. As I've said before, these are highlighted sales. I pulled what I consider to be some of the best sales, but just know that I did sell items for $10 and $15 this past week. So I'm not trying to hide anything, just trying to share the highlights because those are the items that you guys are going to want to pick up. I'm also going to do a little bit different of a format today. One of the most highly requested details that my viewers request over the past couple of months is that I share individual cost of goods for each specific item. And while I can't do that every single video, I am going to do it occasionally. So I will put it in this video. I just want to remind everybody that my cost of goods should not matter to you. You should figure out what you are comfortable with, what your risk tolerance is for your business model, and what you have available in your area. So one of the reasons I don't share individual cost of goods all the time is because I don't want to encourage or discourage anyone because their business model might be way, way different than mine. So that's why I'm not going to put it in every single video. Plus, it just takes a lot of time to gather this information. But in today's video, I did decide that I would put that content out there since you guys have been asking for quite some time on me to share individual cost of goods. So all of the items that I'm showing you today, I will share what I paid for each item. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to start with some Mercari sales, then we'll move on over to Poshmark, and we will end with a bang with eBay because obviously almost every week that is where I make most of my income. So starting on Mercari, I did sell this Athleta dress. This is just a V-neck t-shirt dress. Did have a little bit of ruching on the sides. I personally find that Athleta dresses do very well for me, especially when they are modern styles. And this was also a size large, which I think helped to add value. I paid $4.99 for this dress, which is the basic no sale pricing for dresses at my Goodwill. So I paid full price for this item at a Goodwill. It sold for $28 plus shipping, so the buyer did pay shipping on this, and that was an offer that the buyer had sent to me. I also sold these no bull unisex shoes. I did put women's just simply because that's how I wanted to market them since they were purple. But this brand is technically a unisex brand, and so they'll actually share inside the, I don't know if you can see it, the men's and women's sizing here. So they market themselves as very unisex. However, on most platforms, you do kind of need to lean one way or the other. I feel like if you are going to get your items seen, typically if you put it in a unisex category, not a lot of people are shopping that way. So I decided to market this as women's, but this brand in general, this No Bull brand, is extremely sought after. These did have a little bit of wear. I did not notice all of the wear when I originally picked them up. I paid $19.99 for these, so $20. But the reason I felt comfortable paying up for them was because the sell-through rate is so outstanding. I knew that they were going to flip very quickly, and then I would at least be able to double my money, and I actually did. So these sold for $55. Plus the buyer did pay for the shipping, so I doubled my money and those sold within days of me listing. This next dress is by Jam's World. I've been finding quite a few of these dresses recently, actually. This is an amazing brand to pick up, not only in women's items, but also men's as well. And the things that you want to look for most often are going to be the Hawaiian print stuff, so they're pretty easy to spot. I feel like the more vintage it is and the more unique print you have, they can go for crazy amounts of money. But in general, I think that Jam's World women's dresses usually sell for about $40 to $60. This one in particular, I paid $1.50 for, just $1.50, and this sold very quickly on Mercari for $60 with free shipping. I do believe this item is going to go first class, so it shouldn't cost me any more than $5 to ship the item. So these next two pieces actually sold to the same person, and I paid full price at a Goodwill, $4.29 for each. They each sold for $29 with free shipping, and they'll probably cost me about $4 to ship. This is a Zara women's like high-low top, very beachy, which I think does really well, and I think it was also a linen blend. And then again, this went to the same person, also linen, and this is a Soft Surroundings women's kimono, which I thought was really pretty. And here's the brand Soft Surroundings, if you are not familiar with it. And so yeah, those both sold for $29 each with free shipping. So I do believe we put both of those into a padded flat rate envelope, which cost about $8 for us. I also sold this pair of women's Justin boots. Now these were the Gypsy line. So they actually say Gypsy on the bottom of the boots. And these were a very small size. So they were a size 6.5, which in my opinion is a very small size because I have big feet. But this Gypsy line in Justin can do really well depending on what you have. These boots even had a little bit of wear on them and they still sold. I paid $4.99 for these boots. They sold for $60 plus free shipping, and these will probably cost me about $8 to $10 to ship. Moving on to some Poshmark sales, I actually sold a ton of like jackets on Poshmark, which is really surprising because we're going into warmer weather, and this, these aren't international sales like they are on eBay. So people are still buying jackets and wool all over on Poshmark, which was awfully surprising to me. Nonetheless, I actually paid up a little bit too much for this jacket. I paid $12.99, thinking that it was going to sell for about between $40 and $50. However, I did accept an offer on this item simply because, like I said, we're moving into warmer weather and I don't expect jackets and stuff to sell during this time. So I'm kind of just moving through those. So this ended up selling for $34. I still, doubled my money. However, definitely probably shouldn't have paid $12.99 for this item during this time, but this is just a Pendleton women's wool jacket. I love selling wool pieces in Pendleton. I also sold this Hollister fuzzy jacket. I mainly picked this up for the style. I'd never seen something like this in Hollister, and it was pretty well received on all platforms. It was a very fuzzy plaid kind of shirt jacket, which in my opinion is one of the most popular styles right now. I paid $4.99 for this jacket. It sold for $38 on Poshmark. This is an Express vegan faux leather bomber jacket. This was a men's piece. In Express, I find that faux leather jackets do pretty well, especially when they are in the bomber style. I paid $4.99 for this jacket as well, and it sold for $45. Another men's jacket. This is a shirt jacket. Again, with the shirt jackets, they are just doing extremely well this year. I'm actually still picking them up, even though I should probably slow down just because they have been doing so well for me. I paid $4.29 for this jacket. It actually got charged as just a regular shirt, but as you can see, it was plaid flannel lined and was very thick, making it a shirt jacket. So I paid $4.29 for this. It sold for $45. Another jacket. This is a women's plus size denim black moto jacket by the brand Torrid. As you can see, this is kind of an older label Torrid, but I still picked it up just because of the style. And this is actually a smaller size in Torrid. This translates to a US size large. So I guess it's not actually plus size, but Torrid is well known for their plus size pieces. Even though it was a smaller size in Torrid, I paid $3.99 for this, and it ended up selling for $42 on Poshmark. This next one is a pair of women's jeans by the brand Big Star, which is a brand that is sold at sold at Buckle, like the brand BKE. So Big Star to me is kind of along the same lines as BKE. The men's stuff definitely does better, but some of the women's items can do well, depending on what the style is. These were called the Maddie Skinny, and I think they were a newer label. Let's see. I paid $8.99 for these, and they sold for $34 on Poshmark. This is something I actually paid for online, so I paid up for it. I paid $19 for this item, $19 shipped, actually coming to my house. This is a Lululemon women's, it's kind of just a cream colored jacket. I couldn't find the exact style name of this, so I just had to use a lot of keywords, but it felt really nice. It was had a lot of detail, a lot of ruching, a lot of ruffling details, so I thought it was unique enough, and I found similar comps. So I paid $19 for it. It ended up selling on an offer for $47 on Poshmark, again doubling my money and selling very quickly. This is a brand I just learned about. It's called Malia Mills. I actually took kind of a chance on this because although this brand seems to retail for a lot, it does not exactly resell, like the sell-through rate is not always there, but it was this cute little like slip dress. It had pockets, it was polka dots. I thought it was on trend and it felt very high quality. So I did take a chance on this dress, and it ended up selling for $55 very, very quickly, and I only paid $1.99 for this dress. Moving on over to eBay. This is probably my best sale and my favorite sale of this past week. This is a frame women's alpaca sweater, and this, besides the style, which is very like Nordic, which does pretty well for me in sweaters, it always adds value for me. Alpaca is something I've definitely been picking up a lot of over the past year, and so this brand paired with alpaca, paired with the Nordic print, just screamed high quality to me. I only paid $4.29 for this at a Goodwill, so full price for sweaters at a regular Goodwill. This sold very, very quickly. Let's see here. I think I had this priced at maybe $250 or $200. Someone sent me an offer for $175, which I did accept. This sold extremely quickly. Maybe I could have held out since it did sell so quickly and gotten a little bit more, but I was really happy with that return on investment. So keep your eye out for frame and pretty much anything alpaca paired with this Nordic print. And this did go international. This is a hard goods item I've been sitting on for a little bit, but I think it's because people are starting to have get-togethers now and events, and anything really tiki in home decor seems to do pretty well. And so I was just taking a chance on this. I paid $1.91 for this. It is just a string of new in the bag tiki lights. And it did end up selling for an offer of $44.99 with free shipping, which probably cost us about $8. So that was a hard goods item that I did flip for a decent amount of money. I would say if you see anything tiki that's decorative, maybe take a look into it. These are a pair of jeans that we just got listed. These actually need to be shipped out on Monday. I'm filming this on a Sunday. And this is a pair of men's silver jeans. Now, I very rarely find men's silver jeans, but I do like picking up the women's. So naturally, when I came across a pair of men's, I picked it up. These were the style Zach, and I had them listed for $39.94. And it did sell at my full asking price, and the buyer did pay shipping. Because I knew that these had a really great sell-through rate, and that they were going to sell quickly, I did pay up for them. I paid $9.99 for them. So again, $10 flipped into $40, plus the buyer pays shipping is a really good return on investment, in my own opinion, for my business model. Here's another item that I paid up for. These are a pair of Sorel boots, and I was able to find the style name of these using the tag on the inside. They were called the Joan Rain Wedge Boot, and I think I had more of a desirable color in this green. I paid $19.99 for these, $20, and I did look up the style while I was in the store just to make sure that it was something worth paying that much for. I had these listed, I think at $150 or $125, and I accepted an offer of $100. Again, this sold extremely quickly. I am so willing to pay up for items when they sell quickly. This also went through the international global shipping program through eBay. I also paid up for these boots. I paid $14.99 for this pair of Ariat. The style was called ATS Brown Leather Lace-Up Ankle Booties. They were flannel lined, and they were a kilty. That little moment here is called a kilty. So I always put that keyword in. Ariat in general, men's, women's, are really great boots to pick up, and these just had a lot of interesting details going for it that I made sure to put into my listing. So again, I paid $14.99 for these. They did sell at my full asking price of $44.91, and the buyer did pay shipping. I also paid up for these. These are a pair of men's Nike shoes. I paid $9.99 for these. Totally worth it though. I did look up the style number on the inside. It's really easy to look up Nike style numbers for shoes and even clothing as well, but mainly shoes. And I found out that these were called the Sock Dart sneakers, which have a really amazing sell-through rates. Had these been in better condition, I probably could have gotten closer to $100 for them, but they did have, normal wear, but they did have wear to them. And so these I listed for $55.94. I accepted an offer of $50.35. So I turned 10 into about $50. Again, the buyer does pay shipping on those. This was an interesting sale. I picked up a bunch of racing t-shirts. Most of them were vintage, all on a new clothing rack at a Salvation Army. This was one of the shirts I picked up, although this one was not vintage, but it was with all of those other t-shirts. This is actually from 2013, but it is an all over graphic racing t-shirt. It did say Harley Davidson on there, but it was not a Harley Davidson shirt. So I made sure to clearly put that into the title and into the description. And this one I paid $1.99 for. It sold for my full asking price of $34.93 with a buyer paying shipping. Now, anytime I see anything racing and all over graphics like this, I almost always look into it, especially if it is vintage. They seem to do really well, and all of the shirts that I picked up were in pretty decent condition. This is something I got from the sleepwear section. This is a vintage nightgown, and it was by the brand Notori Classics, which was sold at Saks Fifth Avenue. This I paid $3.99 for, and I listed it for $29.87. It sold on an offer for $26.88. Do not skip on the sleepwear section. I find so much stuff in the sleepwear section that everyone else passes on. This was a pretty cool sale. This is an all over cat print jacket, and this was actually vintage. It was from the 1980s. And if you look up stuff from this brand, it's called the Michigan Rag Company. They have a really great sell-through rate. So this one I knew I was going to get anyways because it was just really crazy, and crazy stuff sells for me. All over cats. I just knew it was going to sell. Did have a little bit of wear to it, but you know it's from the 1980s, so it was in really, really good condition considering. This one ended up selling for my full asking price of $74.93, and I paid $4.99 for this vintage jacket. This is a really awesome brand to pick up. Definitely more of a luxury piece, a luxury brand. It's La Fleur. I thought I was going to be sitting on this a lot longer, but to my surprise, it did sell pretty quickly, and I had it listed for $39.93. It sold for my full asking price, and I paid $4.29 for it. If you come across La Fleur and it's in good condition, I highly recommend picking up that brand. This was a women's Cole Haan jacket. Now, there were a couple different reasons I picked this up, but the main reason was that it was a lambskin jacket. Lambskin specifically as a type of leather is just way more soft and more flexible, and people really love it. I paid $4.99 for this jacket. It was also a really pretty red color, and it ended up selling on an offer for $59.99. And again, I paid $4.99 for this jacket. Lambskin stuff does very, very well for me. This was a pair of Minnetonka women's shoes. Now, normally Minnetonka does not sell for a ton, but these were a little bit more special. I could just tell that they were a lot more high quality made, and it turns out that they were specifically of a stronger moose hide leather. And I think when you come across something like this, you really have to specify that in your listing in order to really make sure that the buyer knows how high quality it is compared to something else in the brand if they're used to things not being that high quality. So I paid $14.99 for these. They sold for my full asking price of $44.92 very, very quickly. So that was something I was willing to pay up for. This is a men's Tommy Bahama silk Hawaiian shirt. I don't pick up every Hawaiian shirt in Tommy Bahama, but when it's silk and when it has some really nice print to it, I'll pick it up because I find that it sells really well. Even though it might not sell for a ton, it sells quickly. I paid $4.99 for the shirt. I had it listed for $29.91. It did sell at my full asking price. Here is another shirt jacket. This is by the brand Northwest Territory. They do make some good pieces, but in general, I wouldn't commit this brand to memory. It's more about the styles that they sell. I paid $5.99 for this jacket, and it was listed for $39.93, and it did sell at my full asking price. Again, with the shirt jackets, guys, regardless of brand, if it has enough going for it, it can do very well. This one I think did so well because it had that like fleece lining on the inside, which really helped to sell it. All right, guys, so that was it for last week's sales. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what your best sale was for last week. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.